Today you will see how I made this Poseable art doll, but first I want to show you a short story with her. Hey guys, did you like this experimental short film? Tell me in the comments if you did. I made the Poseable art doll creature and the flower fairy mask. So it was shooted when I was traveling in Chapada dos Veadeiros with my fairy friend Eileen. You should check her Instagram and her handmade clothing brand Gypsy Elf, which she used in that video. Now it's time to show you how I made Hime, this one-of-a-kind eco art doll, completely handmade with no molds. You can move her arms, her body, she can sit and do many things with you, as she was traveling in this little boat in the video you saw. Now it's time to show you how I made her. I didn't really record the first steps, but here you can see the base, the structure of my art dolls. I made it with wire, and I have a whole video explaining how to start your first Poseable art doll with this technique. You can watch it here, there, I don't know, somewhere in this video. And from this stage, which I made with wire, pliers and masking tape, I will fill it with plastic bags and other eco materials, and I will fill all the body with those, and then I will use more masking tape to make the structure like this one. This is already filled with everything I needed to make the body still poseable, but now we have some flesh in the body. And then I was using masking tape to cover everything, so you have something like this. From this stage, we can start sculpting with air dry clay. I love using cold porcelain, it's my favorite clay to work with. And then I will start creating the shape of her face and also the hands and the shoes. You can sculpt more in this stage. It's up to you if you want to make your dolls. Some of my dolls, I sculpt the chest and sometimes the whole body. Sometimes, yes. You can choose how much you want to be in this modeling stage before we go to the next steps. Now you can see specifically the creation of Hime, this little princess from my Harajuku Creatures collection. She was inspired by Sweet Lolita's style, and she's so cute, I love her so much. Now you can see here the first steps. As I'm using cold porcelain, I will make the first modeling of her face, and then I will use some water to make it smoother. Yeah, because I don't like to work in just one time to be sculpting, I always work with more layers, which I use water to make the face softer, and then I can make more details. It will be easier and the final result will be more polished. Then I will wait some days until it's dry. Usually I like to wait from 3 to 5 days. In this stage, it's what I call the incubation process. It's when you have like some distance from your art and you let it grow when you don't see, you know. As my art is very intuitive, I always do this. I always wait for this time of the art because it needs it just needs time until it's finished. I mean, we are creating with our hands and our inspirations and our style, but also we can let the art show itself to you, you know. You can let them guide your own creative process. It's a very intuitive process. Of course, I also have my techniques that I've been working from the last decade with my Poseable art dolls. But yeah, we can also wait and we will discover more of what we are actually doing. This works for my color palette, for the fabrics I decided to use, and everything that will be in my finished artwork. For the painting stage, I love to use PVA paints or acrylics, but sometimes I also like to add some watercolor or even other kinds of paints. It's very important to paint in layers, so I will make the first layer and then I will wait for it to dry. When it's dried, I can paint another layer with color to make the shapes, to make more light, or to change the color itself. Then I will wait again until it's dry, and I will do this for a long time, possibly 4 to 5 times until it's finished. I like to change the brushes that I'm using as well, because for like the first step I will make the whole face so I can use a bigger brush. Then when I'm going to the next stage, I will change my brush to smaller and smaller brushes to make the fine details like the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and everything else that you want to put in your art. When the wet painting stage is finished, I will wait until it's completely dry. Then I will use dry pastels to make the final touches, like blush in the face and maybe makeup. I also use makeup in some of my dolls, yeah, like blush and other kinds of makeup, but I prefer to use the dry pastels. And when it's completely finished, everything, I will use the varnish. For that, I prefer to use matte varnish because of the final result. I want this porcelain look, and I don't like to use the gloss varnish for the whole body. Sometimes I use it for the eye details or the lips, but mostly I prefer the matte varnish. Then another fun part comes in, which is the costume design. I really love this step, and I take a lot of time experimenting with different clothes and fabric and textures until I get what I want. I do have these big boxes with thousands of different fabrics that I like to go there and hunt the best ones, the ones that I feel it combines with the color palette I'm trying to reach. And I take all of them, not all of them, I mean the ones that I feel connected to the art I'm creating, and I let it in a place and I will wait for some more time until I really know which ones I'm gonna use. If you are creating your own doll, I recommend you to do the same because it's a really fun part of the process where you can try different outfits and color textures and everything in the most intuitive way possible. Of course, techniques are important, as I said before, but also try to remember that you are creating something fun and you should have time to play with, to experiment, to try different things and designs while you make your art. When I finally decided the specific fabrics I want to use, I will create in two different ways. One of them is by hand sewing. So I have this needle and I will hand sew things in the art doll clothing. So for example, in the dress, I need to sew if I want to have this texture like this one. As you can see her finished now. But it's important to what it's important But it's important to not be fixated in just one idea. If you see here in the video the final shoot that I made while I was creating the costume, I didn't stick with it. In the end, I decided to make another way when I was finishing. So yeah, just take time and play with your doll to see how she will show to you. In the costume, I also love to work with many layers, as you can see. And as I said, I work with sewing by hand and a needle, but sometimes I also love to use glue. For that, I use silicone glue. It's a very good one when you are gluing the fabric in the air dry clay that I use the cold porcelain. It's perfect for this one. I've tried many different glues and some of them doesn't really work well. So yeah, that's how I make it. While I'm finishing my art doll creatures, I also like to have a notebook with me. That's where I write about my dolls, their stories and their names. I wait for some time until I know exactly who they are, because as my art dolls are one of a kind, I mean, there will never be another one the same as the one I made. Wait. All my art dolls are completely unique and handmade, and that's why I love to spend some time thinking about their stories and creating and designing everything, because they are not there will never be another one as the one I made before. So I love this process of creating a completely unique artwork, and this gives them so much personality and a soul. That's why I create in this way, because I want to make art with soul, with purpose, with stories. I want to create art that tells stories to the world. Yes, that's it. One of the reasons I call one-of-a-kind eco art dolls for my art is because I not only use plastic, paper and other discarded materials in their bodies when I'm creating the structure, but also with the fabrics. Yeah, I love to go to thrifted stores and to buy some clothes, so this way I will reuse what already exists. Sometimes I like to buy some fabrics as well, but I buy a lot of things from thrifted stores. Also, I've been collecting fabrics for many years. People give me, and sometimes I use my own clothes that I don't use anymore, and they will be the material that I can use for making my art doll clothing. It's really interesting because it's not only sustainable, but you also need less money to invest in your art. But also there's something amazing of reusing pieces that already exist, because some of them already has very detailed sewing that I can reuse and repurpose it in my art doll costume. This is really amazing and something that I recommend to everyone, whether you are starting out your art doll journey or if you already has your own style and you create for many time and you create for a long time, you should definitely try this one. Now it's story time. In a Sweet Lolita style, Hime is the embodiment of innocence and dreaminess. Her presence lights up everything around her, bringing hope and magic inspired by ruffles, unicorns, and pastel colors. She's part of the Harajuku Creatures collection, which imagines the encounter between a parallel world, tundra, and earth, especially the bustling streets of Tokyo, giving rise to hybrid creatures inspired by the fantasy and exuberance of Japanese Harajuku fashion. Thus, each character emerges as a unique manifestation of this universe, where fabrics, accessories, alternative styles, and narratives intertwine. Now tell me, what do you feel when you see Hime? Which kind of emotion she brings to you? By the way, Hime, my Sweet Lolita princess, is available for adoption in my Etsy shop. Not only her, but also my Harajuku Creatures collection. I mean, the ones that I still have with me, because others were already adopted by their guardians. So you can see here in my Etsy shop, you can see more details about their sizes and their names and their stories. Not only my Harajuku Creatures collection, but also some other artworks that I have available now. So if you would like to adopt one of my creatures, please see the link below in the description of this video and find your magical creature to be your friend in your house, in your magical place, in your space, in your sacred place. In your sacred space. So if you want to adopt one of my nomadic creature art dolls, please see the link below and you can choose yours. Now you can see a bit more of the day when I was with my friend Paola, who is a photographer, and we were shooting the final pictures of my Harajuku Creatures collection and my other collections as well. I hope you enjoyed learning with me in this video. I really hope that this will inspire you to make your own dolls and also to be more inside my creative process. I really love this one, Hime. She's so cute and I'm very glad that she could travel with me around the world. This is really amazing. And before we finish, actually I want to show you guys a little bit more of my Harajuku Creatures collection, the ones that I still have here with me. So this is Hime, a Sweet Lolita princess, and I will show you guys some more. Here we have Haru, which is a Shironuri flower creature. He's holding this citrine crystal. And look at his poseability. All the details. I mean, we traveled together, so I need to work on his hair a little bit. It's a bit messy right now, but here he is. Also, Ayoni, you probably have seen her in my other videos. And also in my short film Masks of the Spectrum, if you didn't watch it, please go to my channel and watch it. It's my first short movie and I love it. This is a gothic Lolita creature. This one is Tsuki and the magic umbrella. She's also a gothic Lolita inspired art doll. It's all handmade, all the details of the boots. I don't use molds as I said, and you can also see here behind her dress and the hair, everything. She's like this moon magical entity. I love her hair shape. And finally we have Bato, which is an elegant Gothic aristocrat. He has this vampire look mixed with Harajuku fashion. All posable as well, and you can also change a little bit of his clothing. That's it, guys. I'm so glad that you were here with me. I hope you learned in this video and you got inspired after watching all of this. My short experimental film that I showed in the beginning, and also everything about Hime and my Harajuku Creatures collection. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to watch more art or related content and also my art journey as a whole. And finally, here you see another inspirational video that is probably related to what you already like to watch. So that's it. Bye, see you next time. And don't forget to comment if you like this one.